Welcome to the Rick Bork channel, where the beer's always cold, language fucking sucks, my shit's always broken, and your opinion doesn't matter. Borkfest 2022 is July 29th and 30th, so come on over and have a beer and have a good time, and you can regret yourself later. Whatever. Let's get into that battery box. We got battery down there that needs to go in there, so we're sit. To get the top off is pretty easy, but to actually get the battery box out is a little bit more complicated. So we'll grab some tools and we'll get into it. All right, to get into this battery box, we got to remove this bolt on this side. It's a little T-headed bolt with a wing nut on the bottom. I'm not sure that either one of these are exactly factory hardware, but all right, this one's a machine screw and a square nut. That's obviously got a little bend in it. Now we can get the lid off. Okay, we're going to disconnect a couple of battery terminals here. Again, this is a positive ground system. Let me grab my pliers here. Plier. Get a plier, Ricky. Connect that one. This one over here is not in the nicest of shape, but that's all right. Well, it's no longer half-inch either. It's probably closer to 12, but it's loose enough that the flat will work. Okay. Okay. Battery cables are out of the way. We're gonna loop that one over there. We can take this one down here. Next thing we need to deal with, that one probably won't be in the way because it's flexible. This linkage here is in the way of the battery box, so we'll go ahead and move that. Okay, to remove this linkage, there's a little pin here. That lever come forward. This one here comes forward, disengage it. Once that lever is disconnected, it will actually come up out of the way far enough to clear the battery box, like that. Battery box is held down by bolts on each side. There's only one on this side. A little 5/16 bolt. Another bolt over here on the left side. Okay, without too much frustration, you should be able to slide the battery box out of the right side of the tractor. Okay, I'm gonna grab a light here, and this battery in this tractor is definitely junk. She's froze and been froze hard. I don't know if you can see it very well in the camera here, but that it's all bulged up. See how the top is flexes like that? It's been frozen pretty hard. It actually didn't bulge the case too bad, so it put most of its pressure up, and that's because the case sits in between the hydraulics and the pedestal for the steering. So the case didn't have any room to go side to side. It pushed most of it up. So in the interest of getting people riled up, there's not a lot of good ways to pull a battery out of this thing. So you're just gonna hook the pliers on each terminal, lift it out of there. A little bit of rust and corrosion at the bottom of that battery box. I'm gonna go ahead and scrape around in there and clean up the bulk of that. In interest of being able to proof this tractor and make sure that it runs and see what else that it needs, we're not gonna go ahead and do anything with the inside of that box at the moment other than clean it out. But we will come back and clean the inside of that box out. It's obviously been, it's leaked, had moisture, and it probably had acid in it. The bottom's rusted, so we'll treat that accordingly after we've addressed the rest of the tractor. So let's get back to it. Okay, new battery in the box. As nicely as possible. That little lip right there doesn't want to. There, fits in there nice and snug. Make sure your negative terminal is over toward the slot on the corner. Okay. Now we'll go ahead and connect our negative on there. Now I've had this battery. It's been new, but it's been sitting around for a little while. So we may have to put a little bit of a charge in it yet. I've had it since 19 and it's 22 now, so. But it's never been in the tractor. So. And if we have to, we'll replace this negative end there, but I think we'll be okay. So this little pin had a cotter pin in it, but it wasn't in there when I took it apart, so that was kind of convenient, I suppose. Why does that not want to clear that now? It should. Did before. Yeah, we can do that number. Yeah, We'll find a little cotter pin to put through that. But we'll do that later because it's going to be coming back off to take care of that battery box. Also, why we're not going to bolt that battery box down, we also need to buy some more hardware. It only had one bolt on each side. So Katie has texted me and said the air coming from the wood boiler is cold. So we're going to check that right now. I just loaded it up earlier, but we might have to go in and stir things around to get her going again. I don't know. It was 140, 150 when I left it, but she's got a lot of smoke going. Let me get you a light here. I'll let you see. Luke will be like, Rick, you put the fucking fire out for her. 114. It's not terrible. Oh, she needs a little stoking in the front here. Shit, burned up the whole front half already in the last couple hours. All right. Well, no big deal. We got gloves, and I know you'll have to cut a little more firewood for tonight. That's okay. Chet. If we dig some of this shit out of the front here. Oh, anyway, you probably can't see how I'm doing things. Throw that back on. We got the flamage going, and then we'll get some chainsaw, cut up a few more pieces, and load her up for the rest of the night. It's getting colder out here than I thought. Damn. So, well, it's gonna suck the shit out of my battery if I stick you out here cutting wood for Chuck's sake. But we'll go zing-zang up a little bit of that, and then I'll bring you back here. Okay. After a little intermission there, I went and cut some oak up. So that way we got some oak in there. And we cut a couple of dry pieces of maple. Found a nice dead standing maple. That burns nice and hot. So we'll go ahead and kind of show you how I load this wood stove up a little bit. Since the door's not 1,000 degrees, you can sit right there. A couple pieces of oak on the sides there. This fucker it almost creates a wind tunnel in it. If you can see it. Fuck, I don't know. So we want to go on each side with that maple. Come on. I can't fucking see now. See if we can flame it out. Any better for you? Slightly. We turn the blower on. Okay. More over on the left side there. That last piece of maple. Tuck it in with the other one. Oak against the side. Make sure we're going wood side down with the rest of these chunks, because this is green oak. It'll take a little bit to get going. And once it goes, it'll be there all night. And give that maple a second, it'll go like wildfire here in a second. Just watch. Unfortunately, maples around here don't get very big. There's a few good stands in this area, but leave those for syrup. And that nice dead standing stuff is great for firewood, so she'll take off like crazy now. You can already see if we get down a little bit lower below the smoke, some of the smoke, she's going in there pretty good. So it'll take off once that, you can see that maple log on the left there is going pretty good. That right one will take off here in a minute. Everybody will be happy. She'll be up to temp in a hot minute. So there, Luke. Rick, you put the fucking fire out. Or some shit. I don't know. Whatever. Got distracted working on tractors and fucking around in the shop, okay? I already brought the chainsaw back down when I came and got you, so I didn't leave it outside. So let's get back in the shop, shall we? I want to see. What are you knotheads doing? Knock it off. Fighting over scraps. Okay. So what I need to do, or would like to do, and I don't know maybe somebody is more familiar with that technology than I am. I'd like to get a little temp sensor that goes like on the duct on the pipe in here. They make the little temp gauge that wraps around there, a little fucker. Well, that spring holds it to the pipe. But I can't see the fucker from here anyway, and I'd still forget to look at it. What if I had something that has a little warning beeper on it or something? So if y'all know where you could set it, y'all know something, send me a link. I'd buy that shit up. Because that way when I get fucking distracted in here working all night, when that temp gets down to like 130, have a little beeper that lets me know. That'd be pretty mint. So, let's get back to working on a tractor, shall we? Need a beer. So as you can see, we got oil filter for this sitting there. I picked that up. I want to make sure this engine's free. So, I don't know how charged that battery is, but we're gonna find out. Check oil level on this is the upper. Well, there's stuff in there. There's oil in it, yeah. It's clean oil too, look at that. I don't know what grade it is, but it's clean enough that we can see if the engine will turn. So, we're not gonna fire it. It has no fuel in the system, carbs dry, all of that stuff. I just wanna make sure the engine turns over. And then we'll go from there. So, making sure we're in neutral, right? Don't be getting your ass ran over there, Ricky Dicky. And we'll stand on the back here just in case. So there you go. She turns over, which is a good sign. So now all that's left is everything else, and she's popping the cap, so I mean she's got a little bit of squeeze anyway. Batteries installed and the engine's free. 1952 Farmall Super C. If you guys like what I'm doing, throw me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Ring the bell, get notifications. Memberships are down there if you want one, and I do appreciate it because it helps me do stupid shit on my stuff on the channel. See you guys again next time.